everybody to the fifth, at least in the top 10, most prestigious, best, available Champ Manager 0102 streams on all of the internet. We are live only 15 minutes later than scheduled, which is not that bad. Could be worse. But yeah, we are here during the World Cup in November. Does not make any sense to me. It's an odd World Cup as it is, where it is, but what do I know about being odd? I'm still playing a video game that came out a year after we all thought that computers would stop working because the date was going to change. Shit happens. Welcome, Big Noopy Mate. Welcome, Dimble. Welcome, Fifey. We are all here. Lovely stuff. Hello. A good call, Fifey. While you're here, welcome, Steve, as well. Yours was the only, and Eb's here as well. I tell you what, we are all on board. Lovely to have everybody here. As always, I'm fantastically prepared. Instead of getting Fifey's formation that he sent through on email sorted, I watched Eb's stream instead. So completely unprepared as ever. So what we'll do is we will sort Fifey's team out and play his game first. Makes sense, doesn't it? Let's have a look. Where is he? There. Seems though he didn't play last week as well. Have we seen? I do not blame you at all, Ebs. You were too engaging. That's your problem. Let's have a nudge. Did Rox mention? Oh, he just posted 5 minutes ago. So you should be available first. Always sorting Fifey out. I am indeed sorting Fifey out, as you well know. See you Friday, mate. Let's have a look. Right, so Kyle Court's out fuming. Tato, mate, welcome back. Congratulations for surviving Goodison Park overnight. I mean, just congratulations on surviving Goodison Park. I probably could have left it there and everybody would have been happy that that was an achievement. How did you get on in terms of your... That's the wrong one. Your charity total in the end? I hope that we helped in a small way to get you across the line. Not a problem at all, right? I will more than happily promote anything for such a worthy cause as that. So we're going for the tactic Devils. 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. Jesus wept, Fifey. Right, Cesar in goal, who of course is in the reserves. And which keeper have we got on the bench? Runja. Oh, so Shotus can get to the reserves. At the back we have Lassisi, Gravison with the arrow, and then Foe. So Gravison, Foe there. Bellamy and Alan Thompson. No, so Bellamy left wing, Invincible right wing. I'm done with that. So Bellamy or Invincible, whatever it is. Slept in shorts and a t-shirt. Fair play, mate. Went far better than expected. Fantastic effort, mate. That's class, that. Although I did look at the pictures you were sending, Tato, and I thought they do have the heaters on the pitch. Why don't you just go and have a nice sleep in the pitch? Look quite warm though. Thompson, arrow, Charlie Miller, no arrow. Okay. So Thompson, arrow, Thompson first. Who of course is also in the reserve squad. I feel like doing this on purpose now. Charlie Miller, presumably, and not £1,300. Yeah, fantastic effort, Tato, mate. Lovely. Yep, C Miller, excellent. Muff. Right, you've had a bit of a shocker here. 5 feet, if I'm reading this right. You've got Bellamy in the lineup twice. Evening Legends, mate. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right. So Bellamy's already at left midfield. Muff and Bellamy are now the next two people I'm putting in the squad. Okay, so we're going to struggle with putting him in twice. Muff and Berbatov, right, no problem. And then it was Carl Cut up front, and you told me Pjanovic, was that right? You wanted to swap that out? Elise Dugarry. And then what, Liberopoulos instead on the bench? Pjanic, yes. And then what, just confirm or deny Liberopoulos as your full sub, mate? You are not, Rocks. We're just putting 5 feet, the finishing touches to 5 feet, because of course there was something that I did wrong, of course. Putting the finishing touches to 5 feet. This is 5 feet odd. Christian on the bench, you did say that, apologies. Right. Has he played all season? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, probably, if I'm thinking about it, the link there between homelessness and alcohol, probably not a good look, in all honesty. So, yeah, probably right to not take beers to a charity event for homelessness. If you look at it that way, yeah, that is... I mean, yeah, now I've got my head around some of the arrows. Actually, that is a bit more. That's less madcap than I was initially feared. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. 2 debuts for the season. There we go. Castor Troy, unchanged, I believe. I'm sure you mentioned, Rocks, that you were not bothered about changing anything. Yeah, you did it in the main one, didn't you? Lovely. Or did you send me it 5 minutes after the last one? Unchanged from last game. Right, that was last week. Sorted. Yeah, I think Fifey's had a different formation every game. If I'm right in saying Fifey. And I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, I've done it. Lovely. That was it. Schmuck for pending. Yeah, and he's Schmuck in midfield. There we go. Yes, I did see earlier that your current save, you're very much enjoying Schmuck. So this should, on paper, be an absolute walkover for Castor Troy. Out of form Devils. 5 years of chair. He's getting his own back. In fairness, I don't disapprove of him changing formation every single week. The irony there that 5 years having trouble with him off again. That'd be the obvious switch, but I'll give him a couple of minutes. I mean, yeah, rock bottom legends, you have not done well. I think the only point you've got so far this season was against me, which will not be a shot. Diggory, no problem, I assumed as much. No, the amount of shift that Fifey puts in for that, you know, the other lesser league. Roger. Fair play that he while he's actually getting a chance to play. There's the first goal of the night for the centre back Sebastian Mendes, an odd goal scorer, but on the face of it, thoroughly deserved. Ratings wise, that striker change, Kyle Court getting injured last minute has not helped matters. Dugarry coming on and doing well. Yeah, it's far better on this side of the although uncharacteristically underperforming for this iteration at least, Andres D'Alessandro. No changes, no problem, that's easy enough. Yeah, it did look sort of against the run of play. I can't suggest that it's not. You've not been overrun, I'll give you that. 5 feet. Stick as is, maybe wait till 60 minutes. If you're hooking Pjanovic and maybe bring in Christian on. But there's a second goal and a fifth of the season for Gaston Casas, but an immediate comeback with a penalty for Danny Invincible. Paused it rather than clicking numpty. There we go. Still very positive, apart from the centre back, even after he scored. Michelini's doing very, very well still. Stats wise, much more even now. Couldn't be more even unless that one went on target. Ratings wise, it's still poor for Pjanovic. Gravesta is tailored the two sort of defensive midfielders at the minute, as Michelini is having a worldie and Gravesen is trying his best. Klimowicz for Casas. That is a surprising change. Push winners up 1. Keep arrows, no problem. Done. Yeah, you can't really fault rocks with. It's a surprising one, Fifey. No change of the underperforming striker. with just the one shot, and it was off target. Surprised to see that, especially as you're trying to come back into the game. But I missed the sub, did I? Apologies. It's a good job I haven't clicked through yet. Apologies on the restream. There's only a certain. Yep. I've held fire. I've held fire. There's only a certain number of messages I can see all at once on the restream. So apologies. I've missed one. Shout it through again, mate, so I don't miss it this time. I presume it is Christian for Pjanovic, but yeah, there we go. There we go. And apologies if I did miss it. It's why I hesitated somewhat and mentioned, just in case one of the two of us had missed it. Then done. Lovely, no problem at all. Yeah, the message was already right at the bottom of the little restream thing that I can see when the wingers is come through. So apologies. There we go. You're okay. Didn't miss it. You know, it's all right. I'll just click the X in a minute, and then we'll have to start all over again. So it's all good. Right, there we go. We are back in business. And first strike in anger, it does come from the Devils trying to get back into the game, but VAR, are they going to? They have given it. That probably does wrap it up, unless there's something huge that happens last 10 minutes. Yeah, it does indeed. Somewhat of a routine win in the end for Castor Troy, but that's probably the best outing so far for the Devils. Which is odd to say after a loss. Too late to delete it now, Steve. Sorry. Yeah, I can no longer take it off the game. Yeah, much better from yourself, Fifey. Actually creating something against the marauding and very, very solid Castor Troy team. Yeah. No. So effectively, I reload up the game every time. You can't then put the save in a newly installed starter kit. Not the worst idea. I could do that. I'm not gonna, but I could do that. Is this played on the starter kit? It is indeed, Tato. Have you not been loading the save up in the starter kit each time? You can tell it's in the starter kit because of this here. Fourth column, colours and all sorts of extra bits and pieces, and it's just easier. I've forgotten to do the fucking ratings again, haven't I? Yeah, there we go, straight away ratings. I will go back to them as always, Rocks. If not, I will send you a screenshot of the ratings every fucking time. A crystalline ball bag, I like that. I am an absolutely transparent crystalline ball bag. Nice. Right, who wants next? Who would like to play next? There's almost all of the managers are here this week. Which is an absolute pleasure. I'll lose next. Excellent, Ebbs. Oh, fucking I can press the fucking button right. Up against Matt Lucas's Real E. I'll give him a nudge. Let him know he is up next, as he's one of the few names of the league I'm not seen yet. He did confirm his. I'll get you on next then, Noopy, alright? Not a problem, mate. 5 AM. Jesus wept. Fair play to you. Changes afoot for Ebbsy Does Dallas. No longer Oh, he was excellent. Twitch the latest reel. There we go. Sorry, Noofy mate. Just the flatback 6 instead of flatback 10. Look at that forward diamond up front. I did ask Ebbs if you wanted any arrows, and you didn't come back and say anything arrows wise. Oh, perfect map, mate. Lovely. There we go. So well timed. I think that is only Swanee who said he couldn't make it, and Stu who also said he couldn't make it. So we've got almost all. We'll see how we go. No problem. Almost all the managers involved tonight. That is fantastic news. I put the fucking save on at pretty much the time I say I was gonna every week, and we all turn up. That's lovely. Just the one change for Really, as it's been going very, very well. And it is Juan Pablo Angel in for Luis Sahar. So a very familiar looking Real E. It looks very strong, this sort of 3 in front of the 1 at the back, with the attacking 5 in the front. The 2 Argentinians either side of Andres Nicolas Oliveira seem to be pulling all the strings so far this season. So be interesting to see how that flatback 6 does cope with that forward 5. First chance does come to Ebbs as well. And again, it does look a lot of pink. The away side seem to be on top of things, although very, very even. And of course, victory. As was the call. That's a second for Really as well. Wow. Yeah, as Rock says, another terrible performance in a 3-1. Pretty much walk in the park. I mean, this is probably going to be the obvious Ebbs. But we'll give you as much time as you like as I continue to sup on a Peroni that has travelled all the way from southwest London. Bought and paid for by my work, and I forgot all about it. Walked out of a bar with it in my back pocket, skinny jeans no less, with the cap still on it, and drove it all the way back from London to Leicester, and tastes just like it. Gaz are on, inside arrows on the wingers, and direct. That is probably the earliest direct shout ever. Love it. Peroni is too strong for me, surely. Well, look, I've run out of Iron Brew flavoured WKD, in fairness, so... there we go. I have finished off the fruity Copperbergy cidery shenanigans as well. So I didn't drive with it in my back pocket. No, I got back to my hotel at sort of 3 o'clock in the morning, pissed as assholes. I sat in the cab with it in my back pocket, in fairness. And then, found it the next morning. Free booze. Fantastic. Also found a £13.50 receipt for a cocktail as well. Absolute madness. Player ratings, sorry. Always do player ratings. Look, I didn't have a bottle opener, Steve, so you work with what you got, alright? Doesn't look like there's gonna be... Oh, I keep doing that. A comeback goal before the stoppage. Juan Pablo Angel has been disappointing on his season debut? Oh no, he has had the one cameo appearance, but Yeah, not pulled up any trees. I'd say it was not very angelic performance so far, especially with the card. Condition, in case anybody wants them. Cerner and Oliveira, slightly less. Cerner for Ocon. And go from Hamilton. Two pretty decent substitutions there. Probably the two I would have made as well, in all honesty. And we should go across to the away team, who, on the face of it, not as bad as it probably looks scoreline wise. Amoros not playing particularly well. Yeah, far less condition wise. Nothing too drastic, of course. And Dida's finally dragged himself onto a 6 as well. Certainly not the outstanding performance. Team of the week as they were against Rocks last time out. Are we going to see any changes from Ebbs? You're looking at probably Big Les is the only attacking option there. Do you lose one of the defensive midfielders, push one of them forwards? Amos and Brozek swap sides. And Sir Les on for done badly. No problem at all. Any more for any more? Yeah, could maybe see Batranu coming in for Lilu Yongpyo and him moving forward, but no, that is it. We will run through to the end and see if Ebbs and the suffixes can get back into the game. Doesn't seem that really have taken their foot off the gas at all, to be honest. Gaza with a late consolation goal, or is it? It is indeed. Comeback could have been on, but on the face of it, pretty routine win for Really as it stood. I always do ratings at the end of games, so make a point of that. Hakan Mild, very unlucky to be on the losing side. Competitive from Ebbs, who I know was worried about propping up the table. Don't worry, Ebbs, Legends is here to help everybody out. And popped straight in, as it was, to beat the next game. Victory was on a 9 at half time, was he? Here's Ban River, who last time out did get absolutely walloped. We'll ignore that. At the fingering behind the bike sheds at Powerbox Lane Stadium. Last match they played the sort of the lopsided asymmetric arrowy formation that had stood them in good stead previously. This week they've gone a bit more sort of route one, you would say, that sort of arrowed formation with 3 at the back, diamond in midfield with wingers, and nicknamed it the Shite Hawks. We like that. Methuselah, who was a stalwart for Dr. Harold Shipman last season, is getting his first game of the under new management of this season. No changes for Swanee, who is not here tonight. Let's have a look. Table wise, very much even Stevens across the board, only goal difference separating the two, so could see a very competitive game for the two teams, or at least we'd hope so. He says 20 minutes before the first shot. And it is exactly as even as expected going into the half. Nothing doing for either side. We will start with Noopy and his team all at 6s and 7s. Shout out to our namesake, sort of, the Mega Horse. I think the options here are Stuart Elliott potentially coming on for any of those front three this side. Used to wide right, presumably with the arrows, and then that front two there. That's a positive looking switch, like that. And yes, okay, to 60, lovely. Let's give Swansea side a shout. Oliveira doing very well in that defensive spot. Condition wise, only old man Dave Barnett and Cedric Roussel under 90%. Don't think there's anything really needed there. Might see Shabani Nanda come on for one of the strikers that are underperforming at 60 minutes, but yeah, nothing too drastic for the time being. Can we see anything doing to 60? No. One shot off target, that was it. No longer all at 6s and 7s as Dario Simic drops the average down with a 5. Absolutely nothing further created for Noopy, and this is turning a bit into I can't remember which of the two games was worse, the 2-0 draws earlier today. There's Denmark, Tunisia, or whatever the other one is. I can't remember, it was that shit. Elliott, and that's not the worst shout, in fairness. Switch things up, even as well as Vitaly Volodenkov has been doing all season. I think he's either joint or the second highest average player in the league this season. Hughes, there we go. If you're not performing, you're not performing. Get him off. Yeah, surprised not to see Rory Delap maybe for Simic as well. But all doing there. Almost identical to where we were at half time. Roussel for Nanda. I think that's the obvious. Barnett for Dabizash. And that'll be a lot, I think. Nothing else needed from there. Can Malewski play both sides? No, I didn't think so. And we'll see if either of the sides can break the duck. Looks more likely on paper to be the home team, and it is indeed. Or is it? It is. VAR gives, controversially, the goal for Ibrahim Said, another very, very well performing player this season. Will there be anything in terms of a comeback from the away side? VAR looking at it, just a yellow. I thought that might have been a penalty, but no, nothing doing. Into the last few minutes, what have Ban River got in the tank? Nothing. Deserved on the face of things, stat wise. Argel Fuchs doing very well in the second half. but the Northern Irishman, Danny Griffin, letting the team down. Which does give Sandfields now a 3-point cushion over Ban River in the fight for sort of being in the playoff shout. Puts Swanee only a point behind both myself and Tato with a game in hand as well. It's very, very tight in that sort of mid-table position, so interesting. Right, we have got let's play me against in fact Tato always wants to go early, so we'll play Tato against Legends next, and we will save the fixture that seems to be once a week, every week, forever, the Groundhog Day of Championship Manager 0102, Steve Wright against Lee Dimble. But first, rock bottom, sticking with the 63-year-old and the 13-year-old, and only just turned 13, in attack. Younger than me and in the game as well. Leicester didn't want to put me in the game. Fair play. The friendly giant ballsack derby. Yeah, a lot of love. It should be played on Valentine's Day. Realistically, less Groundhog's Day, more Valentine's Day. That shouldn't be a shock to you, Tato, as that has been every single match so far this season, apart from the first attempt at playing against Rocks, where the none at the back derby, that was then replayed 83 times. Also, absolutely no changes for Tato. So, realistically, bottom of the league against a playoff contender. This should be an absolute walk in the park for Tato. And if commentator's curse has anything to do with it, it does not. That's a goal for Rebrov, first and foremost. I don't think it'll be too long until the second. There we go. It is indeed a second for Rebrov as well. Legends have more or less thrown up the white flag half an hour in. Did eventually get something going a little further forwards, and that will not be of any joy to the manager of the Flamingos. Absolutely devastated to see Joey Dunn, the talisman, the main, as it's still 64, Tato, not a problem. Legends, I haven't seen a message for a little while. I'll give him a little time to have a look, see if there's any changes he wants to make. I'll tell you one thing for sure, Joey Dunn will be staying on the pitch. Condition-wise, he's absolutely fucked. Of course he is. He's 38 years old and being asked to run everywhere. Also tiring is 63-year-old Antonio Fortes. Not seeing any messages at all from Legends. So what I'll do is I will let it run till 60, give him a chance to catch up if he is still here. If not, we'll go wild at 60 minutes. And there is a potential comeback started now by the Flamingos. Joey Dunn with his customary goal. It is all turned very, very quickly. And you can almost hear, yeah, I can hear Tato shit his pants. Yeah. there's going to be changes. I can tell you. There'll be at least 2 substitutions and some sort of formation shift. I will give the screen plenty of time. Underperforming Kevin Kyle is also not going to be great news for Tato. Got lots of attacking options, in fairness, available off the bench. Unsure who he's going to bring on, if anyone. I feel like this might be an essay, which is why it's taken a little time to come through. Kyle off for Estevez. Yeah. Move Arellano and Nanami up 1 slot into right and left midfield with Arrows. 1 less substitute than I expected, but certainly showing attacking intent. Let's have a look. Are we going to make any changes on Legends' behalf? As I've still not seen him comment since the game started. I think with that yellow card and on a 6, Vasiliuk get involved. I think Fortes is knackered, so we get Prutton on. Not really a winger, but see if that helps out. That's about all we can do, really. See if the momentum can continue the way it's going at the minute. Will the deadlock be broken? Desmond, as it stands, with 20 minutes to go, slightly more in the ascendancy of the home team. That could have been the chance. No, that is it. Estevez, the substitute, makes Tato look far more tactically adept than we all know he is. Huge sigh of relief from the home sides, as just very, very even game, and the best the Flamingos have played in a long while, in fairness. Rebrov deservedly man of the match. Estevez, the difference when he came on for Kevin Kyle. Very unlucky for Legends there. Very, very close. Skin of the teeth sort of stuff. That. If they play like that every week, they've got more than a chance of not wooden spooning it. Okay, right. Stu isn't here, so I will leave the shooting gallery / rest of the managers in the comments to make any changes that they so desire on his behalf. But as they are so far unbeaten, I don't think you're going to need to make any. Has slightly tweaked this week. Eric Bakker comes in for the unfortunately underwhelming Igli Vanucci, who I was very much looking forward to seeing in the league, but yeah, it's not really pulled up the trees that I was hoping for. Steve is still smarting from the last match, where VAR very much dictated the performance there. What could have been a 2-0 20-minute barnstorming start per sack turned into just a single goal deficit and then a red card and bang bang scoring within another 15 minutes of the goal being disallowed. And the game just absolutely capitulated from there. Bitter, fair enough, mate. You are northern, so you should be bitter. You should be drinking bitter in your flat cap. And I'm sure in his bar, Stu would very much appreciate that sort of shenanigans. Not a lot of changes, I don't think. In fact, I think I forgot to make any changes at all this week. Maybe I put a mower up front for Chewy, and that was it. Oh no, Ndai's back in as he is fit, and as is Gusev back in for Sakura. So back to the sort of usual looking 4 across defensive midfield there. Given a mower the nod this week just because none of my strikers seem to be scoring, and he's not really had a chance yet. 2 in 4, one every couple of games, hasn't really done anything, and Chewy's not really done anything yet. So the goals seem to be coming from further back on the pitch, but will need to be very defence minded here, I think, against the champions elect. And there's a penalty straight away, and Baronio, that did not. It's not started well. Oh, go on and die. Maresca, too early for Maresca. Season 1 is not Maresca's time to shine. He would be playing a lot more. Oh, for fuck's sake, Juninho. Boring unicorns. Giving the fans what they want. Goals. Go on! Goal scoring machine. Son Ndai. Wow, how are we in this? Very, very even, in fairness. Really even. Wow. Helton's having another fucking shocker. No, but even with 2 goals, only on a 7. What does that mean in terms of, is he missing on his tackle? He's not won any of his headers. Only 1 tackle from defensive midfield. Worrisome. What do people believe? 80% tackles won. Yeah, I'm very surprised I'm in this game at all. In all fairness, will more than happily take a point from this game, as it will be the first points that Stu and Sparta have dropped this season. Headman on top, obviously, from one of the main rivals. As it's against me, I will certainly not give that the option. Have we got anybody condition-wise struggling? No, none at all. Nobody behind half-1. Let's have a look. Let's try and make things. I think with the performance as it is, we'll take it till 60. Am I going to change anything? Let's have a look condition-wise. Ericsson on a yellow, not particularly performing, but I don't have an obvious replacement for him. Unless I'm going to do this. See if this makes any noise. A bit more attacking. Give Chewy the arrow as well. And I think we'll give Charles a mower until 60 minutes. As we're still not scoring anything from the strike, for fuck's sake. Should have put Edmund up front. fucking keepers, I'm a fucking shocker again. Yeah, gotta be. Got to make the obvious changes, in fact. I'm going to go as far as that. It's not going to do anything. No, in fact, yeah, I am going to do that. I don't like playing two up top, but I need to. And we're also going to go direct as well. Sparta Headman, the difference between the two, a 9 in goal versus a fucking 5. Rustico on a 6 and on a yellow as the sole centre back. I'd be inclined, if it was my team, to swap them up. Torrado also not playing particularly well, but not an obvious. Unless you maybe put Foucault in for Torrado and then swap Duff and Foucault around. But again, I will leave it to the gallery to make those decisions, because I don't like to sort of. It is an odd one, in fairness, but it's been really, really good in that position. Ow. It's not really got many other sort of defensive midfield options. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it on the chin here and go with that. And what about Bam Bang is still doing okay. So that's the obvious. Leave it, make play on. No problem. I will let them die, especially Spartans. Absolutely fine. I will bow to the masses there. Can we get back into it? Still really close on paper, and this is not a bad performance from the Unicorns away from home against top of the table either. Fuck. That's not gone well. Right, what we're going to do is this. And hope for the best. Keeper's already doing far better than Helton. Give them the option to change anything as well. No, it's still fine, isn't they? Can the Unicorns get back into it? Last 10 minutes. Need a Hail Mary. Come on, Chewie. Need a miracle. It's not coming, is it? Just about ground out a victory as well. Just about. And that is what will make them champions at the end of the day. I'm not disappointed in that performance in the slightest. Difference there is the keeper. Keeper against mine. We looked a lot more solid in the second half in terms of not looking like conceding at any point, realistically. Yeah, Headman has been, as he was for, I believe it was Dimble, in that other league that Fifey runs, for a long period of time. Just very, very solid goalkeeper. And yeah, that says it all, realistically. Very, very good. Not throwing in fives at any point, and you'll win games that way. Uncharacteristically, Bam Bam hasn't scored. But here we go. The ball bag dangling derby. For a keeper, that is unreal, in fairness, yeah. Anything over 8. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. Those are the games where the three teams at the top, yourself, Sparta, and Castor Troy. I'm happy to take anything, a point from any of those three games, home and away. Take 6 points from those 6 games, buzzing. And then it's all of the other teams in and around scrabbling for playoffs. I think that's where a team like mine should be looking. But yeah, one of the teams obviously looking upwards and unchanged are the very much upwardly mobile. Unbeaten in 4, are they? Oh no, they lost to Sparta last week. In a very similar position to myself. And otherwise been pretty good. 3 wins from 6. These two don't really count. Of course, yeah, the Bernardo Romeo derby. We did call it a bit of a love fest between Steve and Lee. So Romeo, of course, where art thou? Hopefully in the goals, says Dimble. Also unchanged, I think. No, completely not unchanged. Back to their previous formation. The only change in that previous formation, if you like, is Ado comes in at left-sided defensive midfield for Soroczynski, who is suspended. Chris Hope as well at centre-back over Litos are the two sort of big decisions. Joey Good-Johnson obviously also still injured, so Stephen Davis maintains his place. In fact, Petrov maintains his place. 2 games, 2 9s. Yeah, of course he maintains his fucking place. He's been fantastic. But if the form book has anything to say, this could be anything. They play each other every week, so they know each other inside and out. Intimately, romantically. And it is the home side who look far more likely so far to take the lead. And they do indeed, with Didier Argat, the one to break the deadlock. And just about shade it, stat-wise as well, on the face of it. Ratings-wise, again, just about shade it. Very, very close. New signing Mladen Krastic, playing very, very well in there, in that defensive midfield role. Romeo not in the game yet, but we shall see. Is Dimble still with us this late in the day? I haven't seen him comment for a little while, but Steve, I know you're still there. This is still round 1, Rocks. Yes, mate. Yes. All the managers are here this week, so everybody, I'm having to wait for people to actually make decisions rather than just go, fuck it, I'll do this. Only Eric could do, slightly under conditioned, without even seeing everything. We go in, is there a second? No, not 10:30 at night. Back to Jax, and we go Boskovic on for Barsom and swap him with Cassano. Arrows on both wide midfields, no problem. AMCs, I'm assuming that means. Let me know if you want free roll Dimble on any of them, as was mentioned initially. Right, so arrows on both AMCs, yeah, and then you said back for Jax as well. Not yet, no problem at all. Back is on bench. You can indeed see your ratings, Rob. So I did promise that I would also send them to you. That's it, cheers, no problem. Presumably that's you done as well, Steve. Yeah, yes, and I will make sure that you can see Ratings Rocks. I'm going to make a note somewhere on my laptop to always show the fucking ratings on Roxy's games. Right, through to 60. Will the sack get back into the game? Nothing doing so far. Ericadu still the only one, condition wise slightly low. Keeper aside, mostly 6s and 7s. The home side certainly shade it in terms of statistics so far. Only one on 90 is Kachovic, or Kachkovic, however you say that. He's also the only one on a 6, so I would expect to see Lusenhoff and potentially Ronnie as well. But I'll give both managers a chance to decide what they want to do. I think there'll certainly be more to do on this side of the board. And that is, as expected, the cat's out of the bag. Man with a database named after him, inexplicably. That'll do. Presumably no free roll again, Dibble, yet. Boa Morte for Adu and push it out with a short arrow. I like that. I mean, to be honest, Sanyol can probably do the job a bit further forward as well, but we'll leave you exposed. Kind of half expecting a 3 up top as well. Or is that it? Super thanks. No freedom allowed at 1-0. That's fair. You need to be, as the Saudi Arabians proved earlier today, you need to be ridiculously disciplined. That back line. And there is not the equaliser. I thought that was the equaliser then, but it's been chalked off. Ooh. Last couple of minutes. Deserve the victory, Hurricanes, so far. But last season champions are gripping onto the coattails, trying to get back into the game, and it is not to be. Very much got back into it in the last few minutes of that. Let's have a look why the goal was disallowed. Late on. Scored for Sack, who's fired up and punched the air, but it was ruled out as Besadas had strayed into an offside position. Didn't even need VAR to look into that one, as the linesman knew. Taylor 2 keepers, which you'd expect with 9 shots on target and only 1 goal. Richard Wright, the pick of the bunch. Fantastic victory for the Hurricanes. What's that overall now between you two? Is that 906 to 904 overall games versus each other since lockdown? Really good game that, very close. I think Hope is better at DMC as well, Rox. I think you're right, but I don't rate Chris Hope at all, in all honesty. There's one game in maybe every 50 that he turns into particularly good. Yeah, I'm not Not a big fan, me. 906 432, fair play. There is Rocks, your particularly good ratings. D'Alessandro's having a shocker again, isn't he? Down to a 7. Oof, useless. Knights, mate. Fantastic effort, mate. Yeah. Let's see where that leaves us in terms of the league. Unsurprisingly, still with a goals for and against ratio of 3-0, or 3-1. For every 7 goals scored against them, they score 21. So that must be for every 3-1. I can't do ratios. Either way, they're scoring 3 times as many as they're letting in, and they've still not dropped a single point. Absolutely cantering to the title as it stands. 6 goals for, yeah. But that is not the important stat. That one is 8 times as many points as the Flamingos, who have scored twice as many goals. Also conceded twice as many goals. But yeah, that Sparta team very much living up to their name. 3-1 is correct, yeah. Rox is even higher than that. He is indeed. Yes, just about 3.1 or something like that. To obviously, to be honest, the for and against, the sort of goal ratio doesn't accurately reflect all of the actual goals scored and goals against, because of the amount of times this season, twice, that I've had to skew results to make sure that the points added up. It is the points that are making prizes so far. And a SAC dropping down into 6th place, with the Hurricanes now jumping above them, really into 3rd. Very, very, very competitive in that sort of 3rd down to 8th. Probably even a little bit further sort of field area. As I said earlier, the 3 teams that are sort of are above and beyond everybody else at the start of the season certainly was Sackington Colliery, Castor Troy, the top 2 from last season, and Sparta FC 3rd from last season. So getting dragged into the mire is Sackington Colliery. Next week, to be honest, I could do this tomorrow realistically, if everybody could get their teams in. I've got the Asna team in already. I'm there, it's fine. Who are we missing? 12th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Who's in 7th? Just ahead of me. Is Swanee. Not a problem at all. So that's not a problem. So yeah, I'll give everyone a nudge after this, but I think we can probably play these tomorrow. In all honesty, shouldn't be a problem. But if people are struggling to turn around within 24 hours, completely understandable, and I won't penalise anybody for not being able to look at tactics and lineups and what have you. But that is the big game, and definitely will be the closer I can tell you now that probably the last two games will be Castor Troy against the Hurricanes, followed by Sparta versus Really, first versus third, second versus fifth. And in fairness, as close as it is at the top, myself versus Tato will also be a particularly interesting game as well. 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th, the bottom four all play each other as well. Interesting. There is a lot of very good games to look forward to next week. All very competitive. Be interesting. Yeah, potentially. We'll play that tomorrow. If not, I can do Friday. Or the weekend, not a problem. Yeah, to be honest, there's a lot of games there that could genuinely be all over the shop. Which, to be honest, as you can see by the table itself, the fact that any of basically anyone apart from maybe the bottom three are still in. Well, to be honest, this early in the league, in the season, everybody's really in with a shout of finishing second or third behind Sparta. But yeah, you'd certainly expect a surge from somebody, as there was last season from Really, carried on that momentum all the way through to the start of the season. Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting so far. Across the board. But some good results. All home victories. Every single home team won. And only one of them by more than one goal. Obviously, the top two are the two informed teams, but as expected, those Hurricanes are absolutely blowing the rest of the league away. Really doing really well as well. The bottom two teams in the league are the bottom two in the form table as well. And myself took nicely in there in 10th because I've been shit recently. Michelini takes D'Alessandro's place at the top of the average rating charts as well. Ibrahim Said, as I said, getting right up there. Hedman somehow dropped down to an 8.13 from an 8.14 even after getting a 9 this week. Ridiculous. But yeah, that does really show the premium position: defensive midfield, defensive midfield, defensive midfield, defensive midfield. Mario Yepes into the top 13 as well, and another defensive midfield. Yeah, you look at the two teams there that are playing 3 DMCs in Sam Fields and Castor Troy, and all 6 of them being in the top 14 players. You can't really fault that at all. 2 keepers in there as well. Yeah, particularly good. Top of the scoring charts will be Bam Bam still just about hanging on. Kesas coming on strong there though. Volodenkov, top 2 as they were. Had a poor week this week, did Volodenkov. But yeah, still not a single unicorn in the top 14 again. Assists, Willie Samuel still at the top of that table as well. And then 2 of that lethal front 3 for the all Argentinian, no, the all South American attacking midfield 3 of Really, 2 in the top 3 there. Not a bad effort at all. The top scorer does in fact have more than your entire team have scored all season. Yeah. Which is interesting. Love to see it. But yeah, next week Lots of competitive games. If you can all, I'll get the save straight up now. If you can all get some teams into me sooner rather than later, I will churn out another stream sooner rather than later as well. So on the same day that Cristiano Ronaldo has consciously uncoupled from Manchester United, we shall consciously uncouple from the stream and